Hello everyone, I'm Nathaniel Hoover, aka Flashman85, aka Gemini Laser, here again with my wife Z-Saber.
Hello!
And this is a continuation of the results of the Make a Good Mega Man level Contest 2. You've been listening to a selection of, well, one tune from ocremix.org, Mega Man 3 Snake Man Get Down by DiscoDan. And we are going to be firing up the game, and thanks to a suggestion by Icy Tower, I think we've got the game running well enough that I might be able to view a 2x window instead of the 1x, tiny less than the size of my hand, postage stamp window that I was looking at yesterday, straining to read the text, which is why partially why I have a little bit of a headache today, so bear with me here if I sound a little loopier than usual even. So the game is loading up right now, taking its sweet time. It is a very, very big game, and my computer is a little old and slow, so hang tight, get excited, and I think what we're going to do this time to help relieve this strain of hearing my voice constantly in your heads, Z-Saber may be helping me out if she's able to read the text from where she's sitting, may be able to help out reading some of the judge comments, which will be delightful.
Or painful.
Also true. I mean, those are always possibilities. Let me fix up one little thing. Little thing is fixed. Okay. Here we go. Game start. Look at all those things. So much collectibles. Oh, also, I normally wear headphones when I'm recording these streams, because Z-Saber's here and I'd like her to hear some of the music. I have removed the headphones and I have my speakers playing in the background. If there's too much echo, if you can hear the music, let me know. I'll try to turn it down. If it's still problematic, let me know, and I'll just put back on headphones, and then Z-Saber will need to imagine the music. Game audio is too loud. Sorry. Always forget to adjust that. I can keep doing that. Oh, hello.
Apparently Nightman is really interested in some nickel object. I'd say talk to him about it.
Well, maybe I don't want it, because I've already. I've heard the wheel cutter and grab buster can be very effective against beefy enemies. Okay, then. And I believe we've talked with you. You look new.
When I grow up, I want to be just like one of those robots that are walking around.
I thought you wanted to be a tractor when you grew up.
Well, she wants to be a robot, I want to be a tractor.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Did we talk to Plant Man? Yes, we did talk to Plant Man. Is this tier 7? Okay, McWiley's.
No, I don't think you've watched Cutman from Bad Scissors.
Oh no, I didn't have time to get caught up on that. So, without further ado, here we go with the next result. 34th place, tobyjoey by Biplane Bay. Score of 30.40. The decimal points were added in because we had several stages that were separated by just a small point. Oh, I like it. By a fraction. Okay, good little introduction. I like the repurposed Dive Man assets. I'm a sucker for Mega Man 4, so...
I really like these planes.
Although I have to wonder how the planes are just suspended there without strings, but their propellers are still going, so clearly they're moving. Maybe the whole level is moving with us. I like this. This is good, safe introductions to things.
And good use of the water jet.
Ah, that looks like it might be a secret type place. Ah, this would have been a good place for Noble Nickel. Because I don't think we actually need... Well, fine, bail on me when I need you the most.
You touched the side of it.
Yeah, I know. Alright. Let's do this right. That's probably something you can put on your bingo card. How many times does Flash say, let's do this right? Let's not die this time. Zoop. Am I going into a submarine or something? I have to say, this series of live streams I think has been a little detrimental to my health. Okay, Okay. Don't actually need that. You are totally a secret. Ooh, I approved. Yes, good, good. Because I stayed up super late to start trying to upload everything to YouTube, all the archive streams to YouTube. Oh, shoot the egg, don't slide into it. I get what's going on now. Clever. But yeah, I've been, I did nothing but Magmal 2 related stuff yesterday, whether that was setting up for the stream, or getting the YouTube stuff in order, or falling into spikes. Now, I like that this is kind of an open area. This is a little like Mega Man 8, Mega Man 90, or I'm sorry, Mega Man 70. The question is, where do I want to go? Okay, that's an E-tank. How am I doing on those? I could use an E-tank refill. I knew better than to jump on that. Yeah, I thought that was a pit, but I wanted to test. Here, let's actually do this over again. But yeah, the full room scrolling is cool. And this is another one of those situations where it just needs to be clear where... Oh, yes! I like this! I like this! Excellent.
There's so much creativity here, and I like how well they're using the assets in combination with each other.
Up! Yeah, this is really good use of these water spouts.
And the flipping platforms, because you have water spouts that push you into them.
Yep, and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the way I guess you're supposed to go? Wait, what is this all about up here? That can't be right. Oh, unless that's what you're supposed to do, just fall off that side. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of, oh, jump too much, get too stuck. Non-stop Magmal 2 related stuff for YouTube, for stream prep. So it's kind of good. I like that you kind of need to flip them over first to get through there safely, presumably. This looks like a halfway point. Oh, I'm just now hearing the music. Hopefully that's not too loud and creating any kind of echo. Flashing lights, A+. I am not using the Cutman costume for an entire tier. Someone else can do that. So, we meet again, Mega Man. I see you were shivering in fear, huh? You are scared, right? No, not even a little? Fine. I'm used to getting no respect. Shouldn't have expected anything different. Ribbit.
I actually really like Tobyjoey. He's probably my third favorite. I also like the way he dances.
I got hit by Toad Man. I'm officially bad at Mega Man. Got hit by him twice. I'm now super horrendous at Mega Man. I kind of wanted to get this over here so that I could just ride the flume. Shouldn't have that manly of a voice? Okay, I'll consider that if he shows up again. I'm sure he will.
Overall, kind of a meh level. The music is atrocious and it destroyed my ears several times over. But the design itself is good, and the usage of the flipping X platforms is okay, though I do wish they were used a bit more. Scroll down.
Right.
Overall, I think that's my main issue with the level. It just doesn't really do much. It sets itself up with the set of enemies and the flipping platforms, and the water pumps, and while there are setups I really like, I like the one with the water pump and penguin and 2 X platforms at the end, I don't think of... Sorry, this is hard to read. I don't think the level really expands on them beyond a few interesting setups each. The fight with Toadman is pretty interesting though, and the water pumps cause a surprising amount of trouble for me. Overall, an okay level. I wish I had done more though. Also, that M-Tank is so not worth it.
This level looks really nice, but the design felt kind of bland. There aren't a lot of enemies, and most of the challenge comes from the spiky platforms and geysers that try to push you into them. I did enjoy the extra challenge you gave Toadman, though. I didn't feel like this level was doing much in terms of progression at all. Every area feels kind of like the last one, and there are alternate routes which lead into dead ends on several screens, which confuse me quite a bit. The aesthetic is nice, aside from the music that half the time consists of nothing but a screeching tone. There are also some spikes that didn't work properly. I feel really bad because I got nothing I can really say about this level. It doesn't do much wrong, it doesn't really exceed at anything, it just kind of exists. Oh boy, more levels that just exist.
Oh. Pretty sweet level. I think the level did get boring from time to time, and certain sections are a bit lame, but it has an interesting concept and the obstacle usage was well done. Ultimately, it was a fun experience. I also think it was disappointing that all I got from finding secret paths was basic items such as E-tanks.
Thank you. You want to do Ace as well?
This level is fine, really. Nothing outstanding, but overall fairly solid. There are some baffling aspects about how you went about it, though. Mainly, I do not see the point of any of your secret hidden or extra challenging off-the-beaten-path areas and rooms. So this contest has a thing called a noble nickels. You probably should have replaced each and every one of your hidden collectibles with one. Because as it stands, no one in the right mind is going to attempt these areas, especially the harder ones.
I must not be in my right.
This is a total bummer, as there are some really good concepts outside of the main path. There is so little reward for these though, as these areas by themselves are too much effort for simple large health E-tanks and weapon energy? The Hello Kitty? This last one is downright stupid. You require special weapons to reach this weapon energy in the first place. I do like some of these areas. The room with the E-tank is very good. Pointless, utterly pointless, but good. I can't really point out that much wrong about the stage, and you get some okay mileage out of even the powered up pump, even on the primary path, but it isn't that interesting overall when playing it casually. This might be one of the few stages I've encountered where the lack of properly used collectibles actively hurts it. I don't get the use of planes either, considering they don't do a darn thing. Solid enough overall. Not that fun, but your level is decent. Also, hi Dev Kit Boss! I think Splash Woman might have been a more appropriate than the choice you went with. Ah yes, you also seem to have forgotten to make some of the spikes functional, as I encountered a couple of ones no collision whatsoever. I have no real idea how this is managed when the engine comes with an easy-to-use auto-tiler. This doesn't hurt the stage very much, but it just is very silly to just fall through spikes.
Okay then. Oh, let's talk to Sharkman! Sharkman says, they don't even serve a fish meal here. What a Piscine take. 33rd, WanNyan with Blaze Man. Score of 30.80. Thank you for expanding the range where I can press the teleporter button. Appreciate that. Wee! Woo! Bah! Woo! Okay. Yeah, after Mega Man Endless, I have lost all patience for those enemies. Okay, we have some of these. I don't think that was intentional. This one looks familiar. Okay, so maybe I was getting a little tired, because I feel like I'm definitely playing better now that I've had some time to refresh.
I don't know why Tornado Man was at McWiley's. Is that the setup to a joke?
Oh! Wait. These. So pretty aesthetic so far. I'm liking the graphics. I see we're very, very gradually setting something up. I'm waiting for the challenge to really ramp up. So far, this has been pretty straightforward. And what's funny is that I think there's sort of this expectation after having played a lot of Mega Man games, like, wow, Mega Man is so hard. But if you kind of look back on the original games, nothing up there, after having played lots and lots of fan games and the crazy difficulty that a lot of them seem to feature, there's a lot of very normal, I don't want to say boring, bland stuff. That's fun. I like the sort of seeing that moving on. Maybe setting up some expectations for later. Oh! That didn't work. But the official Mega Man games do kind of start out a little slow. It's like, you know, 1, 2, maybe 3 enemies together, and taking our sweet time putting the real challenge of the level in there. Like, it's consistently difficult and challenging, but it's not overwhelming. And especially after you know what you're doing, and you've played this game a lot, and maybe you're using special weapons to the best of their ability, you know the right boss order, you just go in saying, wow, this feels so easy, so when I make my fan game, I need to make this actually difficult so it's a challenge. And it's very easy to miss the point of, well, wait a second, the official Mega Man games only feel difficult because you're so good at them now. Or, I'm sorry, only feel easy because they're so good at them now. You don't really need to ramp up the challenge beyond what it is unless you're specifically trying to cater to people of your particular experience and skill level. We established that fire is bad for the face. I'm curious to know, is it just because Mega Man 2 did this, why we always have 2 to 3 hot dogs in a row? I mean, I know when I have hot dogs, it's always like 2. I can never just have 1. But, I mean, when we're placing them in levels... Oh! That was super, super close. Oh, almost got through there unscathed. I feel like these crushers are much more reliable and consistent than they are in Mega Man 10, because I felt like I could never predict when they were going to come down. It always felt a little random to me. Yay! To celebrate, let's... Flashbacks to the quickening with that background? All yours.
Really nice level. It's simple but effective. It builds the whole level around crushers and conveyors, and it mixes stuff up and combines stuff, and it plays well. I really like the sections where the conveyors work against you. In particular, the backwards conveyor and crusher section is well made and fun, and the setup with the conveyor and tackle fire right up above you is clever and difficult but fair. I think the hot dog mini-bosses were a bit pointless, though, and this is probably like the one level where I was disappointed to see that there wasn't a boss at the end, especially given the title. As it stands, though, it's a kind of level I really appreciate. Simple, but well-designed. It's nothing flashy, there are no custom assets, but it's just pure fun, and it's fair and well-made.
You want to try Hand of Choopy?
No, you go ahead, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I don't know either, but I was just making up a voice and running with it. Didn't really care for this stage. The beginning parts were pretty much empty with very few enemies, and then the difficulty ramps up after the second checkpoint. It just doesn't feel consistent. The crushers are a bit glitchy with the conveyor belts. I went right through them a few times. A nice and rompy level that sticks to its simple theme and just rolls with it. This level is a fun but simple ride that doesn't do much wrong, as there is potential for improvement by thinking outside the box and beyond the level's basic premise. Wow, I don't know where I'm going. Voice is subject to change. For what it is, it's a good stage, but I think by introducing a few more elements and using them to come up with new combinations of these elements, this stage could have been a lot more impressive.
I don't think there's anything interesting here whatsoever. As a level, it's okay, I guess. It's nothing too bad, but it's nothing interesting either. I honestly don't know what else to say. It's so similar to another level here in terms of issues that I'm just repeating what I said before. Boss corridor lacking a boss afterwards inside, and why name your level after a robot master? Oh, sorry. I thought you were scrolling down. I didn't realize you were scrolling over. Everyone is going to be southern. You can read this one. I'm too far gone.
This is perfectly serviceable. It felt pretty solid, pretty good. You do know your stuff. You could have done a bit more, a bit better, and your problem was along the lines of what you didn't have rather than what you had. I think the theming was generic, and so was the stage, very much so. You took the most generic factory gimmicks and threw in the fire-based enemies, and that was about it. But you put everything to good use and combined the gimmicks very competently, if not always creatively. I think you not using the junk blocks in the level, rather than only having them as a decoration, was a huge missed opportunity. Why introduce them if not to actually use them? That was a disappointment. I can agree with that one. But it was still fun to look at. Don't get me wrong, though, this was a solid level and absolutely fun. Take it for what it is, competent and above average, which for a Mega Man level means it's still good. Alright, Tornado Man. Normally, I would question why a Wily-themed establishment is here, but the Wily combo is so good that I don't care! Excellent reference to Magma 1. Let's see what you have to say. Toast Man! Oh, he's not Powdered Toast Man, so... I'm very excited to star in this game! Thank you for adding me to very fun! Alright. Where are we now? 32nd, Mysterion-svin, Gunpowder Cellar, score 31. Oh, I'm looking forward to talking to more of them down there. Cool.
I like this a lot.
Clever. Okay. This looks like it's probably... Oh! Didn't time that well enough. Okay. Well, that's disappointing. I really hoped there would be something up there. Switch to a weapon I can actually work with. Oh, well, that's good. There's a sign there. It exploded. Okay, you have tellies here to recover your... Ah! So that's what that's all about. Up! Okay, that's cool. That's not cool. But that's my fault to jump down the ladder. Okay. Ow, forgot those explode. Stop putting flammable rum in your barrels. Okay, deeper into the cellar we go.
You can use charge shots to destroy the barrels.
Okay. I knew that. My button would not release, but that's probably good because I would have gotten hit and exploded anyhow. What? Nah. I'll be interested to see where the checkpoints are here. I will also be interested to see whether I was missing anything by not going right. Yay! I always store my heads in barrels. It's a key! What is that? Is that... Did someone die? Someone sleeping? What is that? I like that we're... Oh, right. Sorry, I was not paying attention, even though that was totally obvious. Blarg. Okay. Remember how to play. Yeah, I'm liking the aesthetic here. I'm liking the,
Oh, it's an Isaac. It was,
okay, I wasn't sure about that. I haven't played that, but I'm familiar with the game. But yeah, I'm liking the aesthetic here. I'm digging the the cellar vibe here. And I'm not hearing much of the music, but it seems to fit. Okay. Yeah, this is another area where, even though I appreciate that it makes the level feel bigger than it really is by having these, holes all over the place. Let me see, I won't be able to get out through there, so... Go this way first. Ow. Okay, I guess that's acceptable then. I was going to comment on how it looks like you should be able to go more places than you can't, and that ties into the comment that I was having on the last stream about having some difficulty figuring out which way to go with some of these levels. But now we're circling back on ourselves. Right! Background! Pay attention to the background. I just made it harder for myself. Oh! Almost pulled that off flawlessly. Wait. This looks similar... Oh, okay, I have been to the screen.
You just saw it from the bottom.
And it also reminded me a lot of the first screen where you first had that, watch out exclamation sign where you were about to fall into the spikes. So if this is actually the end of the stage, this is good, this is fun, I enjoyed this. It doesn't quite feel like there's a clear challenge progression. Like, I don't quite feel like I had really finished the stage yet. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's a match that lights itself on fire. That's really awesome.
This one I actually... I want to take a second and try and learn his pattern and not just jump onto the special weapons bandwagon. Because this feels thoughtfully designed that it's something you can practice and get better at. Right, and then it's 2 jumps. Ooh, nice stops. Whoops! Come on. I don't know about that. Oh, my buttons are sticking now. It was sliding. I was trying to jump. Let me give this one more try. He is a little too fast. It is difficult to get in a hit.
Might want to start using special weapons.
I will. Give him this one more shot. Ah, fine. For the sake of getting through.
We have 4 tiers to get through here.
Flash Stopper is not effective. Slashing apart wood is not effective.
Maybe a water attack?
Nope. Well, let's see what else we got.
People want you to try soccer gunning.
I did. It didn't really work.
Okay.
Do it again. Oh, yeah, there it is. I wonder if he's only vulnerable on the ground. I guess he's not a beefy enemy, not vulnerable to that. Try this again. I don't remember, I don't remember! Yeah, I know he's invincible when he's on fire. Oh, when he's on fire, okay. That makes a difference. But when is he not on fire? That looks like a grenade.
Yeah, it's doing some damage to him.
Yeah, I think, honestly, the Buster's gonna be better. I'm just gonna use E-Tanks. Yeah, okay, so maybe... there's really easy potential for this to be a really well done boss fight, but I agree, there's... It does not help that my buttons are sticking.
Every time he attacks him. To grab us.
I was trying before and it did not seem to do anything.
Well, you might have hit him when he was... There you go.
Oh, I'm not gonna chance it. No, 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 I'm gonna use an E-Tank. Choose the right decision. Yeah, just a little too fast. Either a little too fast or a little too much time where he's invulnerable.
Good level overall, though I do have a few issues with it. I'm not really sure if just having a exclamation sign was the best way to convey that rocks are going to fall on that spot, because it will catch you the first time if you go through. And it kept catching me because I kept thinking that the signs were decoration in my head. It doesn't help that they just seem to come out of the ceiling, and there isn't really any logical hole or noticeable tube they come through. Other than that, the level was pretty good, though I kind of wish the barrels were used a bit more. like having them contain enemies or something. Some part of the level felt a bit cluttered at sometimes, namely the part where you have to grab the key. But most of it is pretty good. I like the boss fight, and it's learnable and fair, though I do think that the damage that the match does to you is a bit much.
Boys.
Oh, yeah. Always. Overall, a solid level. Also, I saw that small Isaac!
You nailed down the abandoned basement vibe pretty well, but this level was kind of lacking in terms of design. The bottom area was really cramped, same with the vertical section. It wasn't really clear that the key was inside a barrel, which confused me and made me backtrack when I didn't need to. The boss was unfair because it was nearly impossible to telegraph its attacks, and its weakness, Grab Buster, is a very slow weapon that usually fails to hit the boss in time because of its many, many periods of invincibility. Overall, this level had some potential, but just kind of missed the mark. I feel like this level got a bit carried away with its cellar theme here. The way this level is laid out makes the enemy positions not at all comfortable to deal with, and the environment is overall claustrophobically cramped on many occasions. That is like super cramped. Claustrophobically cramped. The Matchstick boss is a neat idea considering the gunpowder theme, and I like its pattern, though the final attack is something that the player won't predict unless they can predict. Wait. Something the play- oh, I'm just reading terribly. Unless it's coming. Overall, I wish this level tried less to feel like a building and got more creative with its layout to complement its enemy positions and not its general aesthetic. I would like to put in a request to the dev team of where there is no arrow blinking at the bottom, don't let me be able to press the down button to skip back up to the top. Like, you know, I'm thinking like in Microsoft Word, you're holding the scroll button down to the bottom. If you hit it down again when you're at the very bottom, you don't suddenly leap to the top of the page. That's a little confusing. At least the way I'm trying to read these on stream.
This level had potential to be good, considering the fairly interesting idea of this stage, but there are so many issues that make it very mediocre. This stage fails at the basics of level design. Every section is filled with too many enemies and obstacles that are nearly impossible to avoid. The fact that you need to stop to recharge your buster to destroy the barrels just makes the level more frustrating. The boss also has inconsistent attacks, so in short, this is a stage that could have been good, but ultimately ends up being a frustrating mess.
This was fun enough, if not spectacular, but definitely very solid with no huge hang-ups. I guess my primary issues are a few this is irritating moments. For example, this stage has an awful lot of areas where it isn't actually obvious where to go. So many areas look like they should scroll to the next screen, but don't. It's rather annoying to travel up somewhere without, say, a path, or even a reward for doing so. There are also quite a few areas where you could have benefited from, say, sticking in a nickel rather than bolts. It's a bit of a bummer to work to get somewhere only for there to be almost nothing waiting for you. I appreciate the ones stuck in there, though. Final issue, this stage lets you spend the entire thing doing it buster only, up until the end, which suddenly requires weapon usage. Why? That's just straight up bizarre, especially since it's on the main route. There's one really major missed was that true? I forget that. There is one really major missed opportunity here. You did a gunpowder stage with no sort of cartoon gunpowder line? This stage could have benefited with a gimmick somewhat like that, if only to boost this from very solid to great. Your new asset wasn't really pushed far enough to be memorable, but at least the stage was designed around the fact they don't respawn, so kudos to that. I liked most aspects of your Robot Master, I guess he's a Robot Master, except for the fact he's randomly invincible whilst jumping. He doesn't look like he should be whilst doing that, and it's enough to throw the player off completely. Whew, okay. Go! Pluto! Okay, the cat doesn't want to read the cat. They tried to eject me from this place. No pets allowed, they said. Meow, what nerve! I attended Otakons several years ago. I've attended a couple of times, but I saw someone doing an awesome Pluto cosplay that just warmed my heart. I think they actually threw a guy out earlier thanks to that. I don't feel welcome here. What? How am I supposed to serve the customers? I ain't got no hands! For that matter, how do you type with boxing gloves? Combo, just 5 zenny.
I like the Ronald McWiley.
That is Pluto. P-L-U-T-O. Hanging out there. Slashman looks different. Pluto also has claws like Slashman. There's actually a lot of Mega Man characters that have, like, Wolverine claws. I stole food from the kitchen and turned myself into a blob so I could sneak away without paying. Hehe, jokes on those losers. Next up, 31st place, TheRetroDude, Cursor Curse, score 31.20. That sounds like it's going to be a little louder. What? Okay, how do I turn this back on you? Oh, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. Clever. Okay. I don't know if that's just a time thing where you have to survive for a certain amount of time. No, you don't! What? Roll, watch where you're walking. I don't want to do this part over again. Because I'm pretty sure this is just survive. Shows me for trying to platform normally. I'll just cheat my way through everything. That is really cool adding those spikes, though.
This is really, really cute.
Yeah, very creative. Uh-oh. I guess we shouldn't be surprised to see him again. Can I be Proto Man next tier? Yeah, remind me. What are we doing? We're slash clawing, and we are going to be concerned with the tellies that are suddenly appearing. Really? Okay.
You hit the side of it.
Surprise. Good place.
I really love the gimmick of this level.
Oh boy.
Jump, 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 jump.
Oh
okay,
boy.
Maybe not.
Hopefully my cursor will cooperate. You can't hear it, but my head is completely cocked to the side. Maybe we go this way instead.
Jump, 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 jump.
Oh man, my controller is sticking like nobody's business. That's not working. Do that. Oh, hi!
Yay, penguins!
Hang on, hang on. I got this. Maybe I don't got this. That's fun, I like seeing them both combined together. Don't just wait there. Why are you just standing there? What's that all about? So that last room, there are one or two spots, like, I appreciate combining the mini-bosses, but But yeah, Woohoo! I like combining mini-bosses, and I like the arrow gimmick, but the two of them together feel like they should have been two different stages, or else use the arrows more in the mini-boss fights.
Man, this started off so good and adorable, and then it just dropped off. I love the cursor concept, and the first few skins do a really nice job of being all, yo, gimmick! And they're just hilarious in general. And then the level just kinda spirals down into just pasting down random ideas with the occasional appearance of the cursor. There's a random Boltman fight where the cursor just spams tellies. There's a random gravity flip section, there's a random sled section, and then the end is just some random gauntlet of mini-bosses that just has nothing to do with the cursor. The boss is okay, I guess, though the enemies can pile up really easily. It's really sad to just see a really neat concept go down the drain so quickly. I wish there was way more done with this concept. Rawr.
That was an awesome gimmick. The delete thing at the beginning was especially cool, but it wasn't entirely obvious what you were supposed to do at first. Oh man, no, make it stop. I'm sorry, I was going for bad Canadian like before. The level itself was... No, I'll just speak.
Just speak.
A nice set of challenges, and the boss at the end was really cool. The rounders were pretty annoying, though. However, the graphics are extremely minimal, and the music doesn't loop properly. This level makes me so sad. I absolutely adore the premise and how the level starts. However, as soon as Voltman drops in, it feels like the level slowly but surely runs out of ideas. I would argue that it has too many ideas. The entire charm from the start takes it back to mid-bosses, which were placed in such a way as that they don't really give much of a signal besides filler. The fight against the cursor was pretty cute, though he could have used a proper pattern. I'd have liked to see him use his right-click power more. Man, though, this level could have been so much more. Wow.
So he's Canadian, Juby's not.
Well, yeah, but I was just applying different, well, anyhow.
Okay, so people have complained that he's too angry, so I'm gonna make him less angry. I really like the idea behind this one, but unfortunately, it wasn't executed as well as it could have been. By that, I mean the cursor enemy gimmick is interesting, but it doesn't really do anything except for the first screen, and then the two bosses. Speaking which, the first boss is pretty annoying. Other than that, I think the amount of mini-bosses is too high, and most of the level just feels empty sometimes. Overall, this isn't a bad stage, but it definitely could have been better.
That is an utter shame. Your level concept promised a Michelin star quality meal. Sure, the decoration in the place is shoddy, but everything sounds so interesting. In the end, it offered a tasty appetizer, followed by a burnt chewy steak with overcooked veg, but at least it had the decency to end with a solid if boring pudding. And now I'm hungry. Let's get something clear. Your opening room was fantastic, even though the introduction will likely kill the player the first time they see it. After that point, they will understand the gimmick, and honestly, I say that you still introduced that gimmick well, because while it will probably kill the player, it is very clear the player's death was still their fault. Curiosity kills the cat, as they say. And the level seems to continue the trend with a nice little flair for spike placement, and even an interesting idea for a mid-stage robot master. There's some issues with the implementation, namely the boss room is far too small for the boss you used, and then promptly drops the ball. What happened to the concept of the stage? Well, why do we just get utterly random dev kit gimmicks with no rhyme or reason to their existence? Most of them, like Frostman's sled, aren't even justified in the stage's little universe. And what was up with the ending of that segment? And every single mini-boss felt like filler. Utter filler. I really wish I could see more things unique to the mouse cursor idea. You have an entire menu at the right click there. It would have been great to see some other actions. Very much agree. This stage ends before anything else interesting happens. The boss is okay, although there is a bit too much RNG and spam in the battle for my tastes. Perhaps a cap to the amount of rounders it could summon would have been a place to start. Disappointing stage, really. This could have been a contender had it followed through with its core concept. We'll try and go back to more normal voices. Junkman! This cursor fellow wanted to toss me into the recycle bin. I managed to escape and snatch some terabytes of data about how to cure various viruses.
There's a secret room to your left after reading the comments.
After reading the comments?
Go left.
Oh, like left.
Go left, yes.
Past! Oh, yes, from the Mega Man Christmas Carol games. We found this teleporter in the stockroom. Some sort of old advert for the festival. Got nowhere better to go, I suppose. Ah, I wonder. Twilight Lodge. Actual Conversation 1. A spark. Let me know if you want to shove Wishing Star for Mega Man's Christmas thingy in there somewhere. Actual Conversation 2.
To be honest, I almost want to have Mega Man's Christmas thingy in the final game, just because we can.
So, because this is not actually a judge tier level, I'm going to throw myself into the nearest... Why are there no death pits? Oh gosh, it's a hyper-realistic Joe. Yes, I'm going to throw myself into the first pit of spikes, and let's get back to the tiers. We'll come back to this one later. After all, it has an energy element. How can we skip it? Actually, I don't think that one's 81st... No, that one is not 81st place, because I know the level that is. And we'll see where that popped in. That one was disqualified. Next! 30th, Big Fish! Cossack's other Citadel. Score 31.40. I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, Mega Man 4 fan. Also, let me know how the volume balance is, if you're hearing any kind of reverb from not having headphones on this time. Oh, 81st place is in Tier 8? I don't know. I haven't seen the one that was disqualified yet, though.
They said they put it where it would have been based on the judges who did score it.
Right. A little graphically bumpy in the background there, unless that was intentional, but a couple of the blocks don't quite match up. I'm glad to hear that you cannot perceive any reverb. Reverb. That makes me happy. Well, the point deductions for being late were from the maximum possible point score you could get. So if you got, like, Z-Saber got -20 to her maximum possible score, so at best she could have scored a 30. If she got above a 30, that it would have been brought down to 30.
And I believe that was off the average score from the judges.
If I'm not mistaken, this is, the, what is that, Wii Guys, stereo version of, this tune? Yeah, it's Wii Guy 309, and he does normal NES music directly from the games, but they've got sort of this echo sound to them. Gives them a little more depth. Pretty cool. Okay, that is actual rain. Okay, oh, here's the scrolling. I like it, I like it. Which way to go? Not that way. Actually, that one's not very good. I was standing there waiting for another blade to be able to spawn, and then it didn't, and I didn't think of quickly switching weapons to delete the ones that were on screen, and then... Okay. Oh, right, I was looking at the weapons that... Oh, not an appropriate time to do that. Because I still haven't figured out what is best against those blade thingies, whose name I can never remember. So I like that we are progressing through the various phases of the Citadel. I always like levels that give you a sense of place. Like this is an actual location, or there's some progression of you start outside and you work your way inside. Like why I like the first fortress stage of any given Mega Man game. Because it feels like there's movement, like you're traveling. It's a pity the music fades out so quickly, though, and it doesn't loop. Oh, I forgot you can jump! In the back of my head, I knew... in the back of my head, I knew you could jump. They jumped, I just forgot. I'm so happy that those enemies are actually being used, and used in a way that it takes full advantage of all of their abilities. Okay then. Let's see, what do we have to say?
TFW? That
Totally failured walrus.
Yes, totally failured walrus. You decide to make imworm?
It's a type of enemy. They're the worms that fall out of the ceiling.
Okay. Caterpillar thingies, visible always to make them more fair, and then someone makes them invisible anyways. Very good design in general. The whole level has a nice difficulty curve, and each of its gimmicks are used in good setups, and then all combined in the end. I don't really have much to say about the level besides the fact that it's just really well designed. Strongest parts are definitely the auto-scroll parts. I adore the unorthodox usage of shield attackers here, and the giant chains of Beeries are hilarious. The room with Beeries and ladders is also one that I really like. It's just some simple but well-designed setups with a single enemy. Really solid level overall. I like it a lot.
Well, that level existed. It was like... Oh, wait. Do we want to switch up the Canadian? We'll make Gary my terrible Canadian voice and Joopy. I was told that Joopy sounds a little more like the... Well, that level existed. It was like a mashup of the 4 Cossack stages, but it didn't really do anything more than that. It was a pretty boring level, to be honest. Also, in that auto-scrolling section, there are 2 shield attackers that are literally impossible to avoid without the flash stopper, and the last room scrolls because a stop-scroll object is missing. I really like the start to this level. It presents all of its challenges one by one and builds on top of them and through mutation of the setups. Sadly, my enjoyment with this level pretty much stopped as I went into the auto-scroll sections. I love the judge deviations now again. The first one is very easy and leaves a lot of room for interesting things that can be done with enemies, even without making it too cramped. The second one can be rather unfair if you don't see the enemies in time. Also, where did the snow go? It stopped snowing. This stage is honestly mediocre. There's really nothing that stands out here, and there's a lot of problems. Regarding level design, I actually think the first half is okay, but the second half is just filled with unfair enemy placement everywhere, not to mention the rain, which makes things even more difficult. Even the music choice is fine, but it's so low quality it hurts my ears. Oh, and the last room has the camera not implemented well for some reason. The biggest critique of your stage is a lack of challenge, and the first few rooms are a little meh in design. The Imorm enemy does not get used very well here, unfortunately, but for using only some very basic gimmicks, this one worked. The tile set is put together fine, the enemy variety hits the best balance. Overall, this was quite good. It felt like an official Mega Man stage through and through, and that's what we like to see. Your standout room was the final one, but worth noting is the fact you actually took conveyance into account. Everything got introduced, and introduced well, even if I was not aware of these gimmicks and enemies from previous games. I am, but let's get hypothetical. You introduced them in such a fashion that the player could get used to them, and then you used everything in that last room to the best way possible, even shield attackers. My word, you use shield attackers well. Good stuff, mate. Only things, really, that could have improved the stage without changing the concept is perhaps a better choice in music and looping it correctly for a start, as it's a tad predictable and maybe give it a bit more bite toward the end. One more harder room, and I think you would have nailed what you were going for. You also gave just enough of a hint that your stage was ending without making me anticipate a boss fight that would never come, so that is appreciated. I want to point out, if the story I heard was correct, the judges here were selected based on who was available on Skype at the time when they said, hey, let's pick out some judges. I mean, everybody here has qualifications. We already looked at that earlier. I kind of find it funny that this particular selection was, to my knowledge, just from people who, hey, we're free. 29th place, Gransveld... help me out with that one?
Hakase?
Sure. Fortified Lab, score 31.60. Okay, Supersonic Man. I probably won't play it because I don't play ROM hacks. But I hope you have fun with it.
That was Magma.
Oh, that was Magma 1, not Magma 2? Okay.
And it was Discord.
Alright, I was... Well,
You're
okay.
wrong all over the place.
Yep, well, that's why I have people live here to fact-check me as we go. Okay, so we have a couple of enemies in very standard, predictable, easy-to-get-past configurations.
But it's pretty through here.
Yep. So I'm expecting a bit of a setup. Good. So these, again, from Mega Man and Base Challenger from the future. I'm not hating the music, but I'm not really digging it. I think it
I
works.
really like the music. I think it's peppy. It keeps the energy up.
Peppy is good. I think maybe just something about the tone of it, the audio quality, the instrument set, something about it. Fine.
Okay. For Magnal 2, Jupi asked months in advance. Pyro made Ace judge automatically when he expressed interest because Ace is awesome. Angela and Gary I picked since they asked, and not many other people asked.
Okay, that's how it was. So I'm sorry, I'm getting my stories confused. I apologize. And there was actually some discussion about me being a judge for this. But then people remembered, wait, didn't you make Maze of Death? And then a lot of people said, maybe we don't want him judging our stuff. No!
Apache, no?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, precisely. But if we do a Magmal 3, I am completely on board for judging. I am more than happy to help administrate the contest. I have a lot of administrative experience under my belt and would be more than happy to run things behind the scenes and coordinate with things behind the scenes. Good use of those platforms there. Oh! I'm neased. My button's sticking again. Also happy to provide proofreading support, playtesting, like anything that I can help with for Magmal 3. I'm more than happy to do so. Because these are, this contest and the one before it are really, and Mega Man Endless as well, just great ways to get the fan community together.
I like how Flashman's skills range from probably a speedrunner to forgot to press the A button.
Well, my control, like I said, my controller's sticking a little bit more, and that little split second makes a lot of difference.
What's the name of the controller you're using again?
The Logitech Cordless Rumble Pad 2. Clever. Whoops. You can ride with me. Well, I don't know. Cordless isn't the issue. Honest to goodness, and I've told this story before, after playing Mega Man, not Mega Man, Final Fantasy VIII for PC. Didn't go back quickly enough. Oh no! Stop dropping power-ups on me while I'm trying to press buttons to jump. Yeah, after playing Final Fantasy VIII for PC, summoning any... Oh, that's a pity, okay. Summoning all of the summoned monsters requires a lot of button mashing to max out their power level, and I was using this controller for that, and I really wore out what I'm using as my attack button in the process. So it does occasionally get a little sticky and just does not function properly. Inafune as a judge, that would be cool. We have a bug. It's official. We have a bug joining us for the stream. Go ahead.
I think it's a fruit fly. If a wildlife fortress was If a wildlife fortress was compressed into one stage, most of the level I like, and it really does feel like something you'd see in like a late NES era wildlife fortress. But there are two sections that really bring the level down for me. You can't tell which ones I don't like because they both have Bladers and Apache Joes in them.
There's that name again.
It's very easy to get unfairly killed just because you didn't see the enemy coming, and either have the Blader swoop down at hyperspeed and kill you, or have the Apache Joe bump into you with its building-sized hitbox. The Pooker section is especially bad. Pooker's fun to say. With this, because it's over a bottomless bit.
A bottomless bit?
A bottomless bit. so you don't have an opportunity to rescue yourself with super arrow or something. The rest of the level is fun though, but the shield attacker room made me cry. Because it's like the literal worst usage of shield attackers ever, and it gives me nightmares from bad fan games. The rest of the level is fine though. I didn't think it's terribly interesting. Besides, maybe the Sparkman platform setups at the beginning, and oh, sorry, that went with the last line. It's an okay level. Oh, by the way, this level looks amazing, especially because this has no custom assets, so serious props for that.
Yeah, I really like the look of it, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. The first half of the stage was fine and posed a nice challenge, but the second half, oh man, that part was difficult without weapons. Patchy Joe's bladers and the cloud things from Flame Man stage is a really bad combo. The vertical section has some really tight jumps, and it's hard to get through without falling down, especially with all the enemies around. I really enjoyed riding that pooper around. I thought that was a good, solid challenge. It's like a meeting of many of my least favorite enemies. Joy! Bustering this level is absolute Hello Kitty, but going at it with special weapons is pretty fun. I kinda wish the requirement of using weapons was indicated in any way, such as a dual satellite block before the water section. That section with only a buster is a spaghetti fest, but it's pretty much fine as is. Some enemies and jumps I don't really agree with in this stage, but otherwise the stage is pretty well made. And then it ends. I wish it had utilized the expanding blocks that it introduced early on in more scenarios. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that could have been done here with them. As it stands though, nice level that requires some thinking. This level is okay, just okay for me. I don't think there's here that is particularly offensive to game design, except maybe the placement of the bladers in the level, but there's nothing that makes me want to have a lot of fun here. I think the choice of assets was pretty cool, but aside from that, there's a little interesting here.
Boss corridor. No boss. Why? Admittedly, the touch at the end was nice, but there was no need for that corridor. This is a level with more style than substance, and most of that style was pre-made assets, but that's fine. The assets chosen mostly work well together. You have a very good eye for making the stage visually interesting. I like that there was variety in gimmicks, and the enemy section was pretty decent, but it does have issues. The segment with the puka is infuriating because it's combined with enemies that should never be combined with small moving platforms. Combining it with Junk Drop, pretty cool idea. With lyrics, also good. With bladers, and with Apache Joe, what? Ugh! Specific mention goes to that one blader, which is too high for you to hit with most weapons, so you're almost always going to have it ram headfirst into you and knock you to your doom. No, this bit needed rethinking. The rest of the level is fine, even if some of the power-up placement was baffling, and as a whole, the level... sorry, I'm losing this accent. The level is as generic as the name implies. It's not terrible, and the rest is very average. Yeah, you're bungling the pooker segment. It was that infuriating. It just crippled your score. You do have a good eye for graphics, though, so hopefully you can get original assets to work with in the future. Sorry, I'm not good at this whole rating thing.
I want to know, so Burger, Wily Shake, and are they part of this energy balanced meal? Like, what is that in the middle supposed to indicate? Next up, we have 28th place, 128 up, Spiky Sitation, with a score of 31.80. Let us talk to Flame Man for a second here, though. I need to keep my weight down, so I don't eat much. I usually just go with a salad and a nice cold glass of water. Good music. Save. Okay, that looks like a checkpoint to me. Actually, hang on a second. I recognize that save gimmick from another game. Like that specific graphic. I think somebody tried to share a game with me that had something along those lines. Just in case there was a Noble Nickel hiding in there somehow. Maybe it was I Want to Be the Guy. Oh, maybe that's what this is supposed to be. Like an I Want to Be the Guy reference of some sort. Which I haven't... I've seen a little bit of. I don't think I've actually played any of it. Whee! Oh! People keep asking about skins. Remind me to change costumes then.
Okay.
Welcome to Needle Castle! Enjoy your stay! We are not responsible for any casualties from impaling. I also have that sign on the front of my house.
Why? Because my sewing needles are everywhere?
Well, that's part of it. But you also have barrels of fabric everywhere, so, you know... Ah, you're invincible. So people have something soft to fall on if they get impaled. Ah! I like that we're seeing different kinds of mets now, not just all the traditional ones. Clever use of these, I approve. So graphically, this isn't overwhelmingly thrilling, and maybe that's part of the point if it is going for I want to be the guy kind of look. Which I recall being very basic. That didn't work as well as I was hoping. Let's refresh all that super arrow I used to get up here. But I'm digging the challenges. Right, that's gonna get me killed. And I like that you put the little nub there so you can't just, use wheel cutter to get up there. Nope, not quite, but you can still use super arrow, and frankly, how I should have done this. How I should have done this. Oh, that's not springs, that's spikes. Sorry. Oops, too soon. Too early. Do it again. Nope. 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 Yeah, I didn't think so. Probably needed to wait till I get to the very top. Still haven't figured out how to do this one, honestly. Maybe I just need to jump, like, here. Okay, I guess the other thing I can do, because I'm just obviously not really good at whatever this is asking of me, is... stop it. Wow, boo!
Can you use Rush Jet?
Yeah, I was going to do that originally. There we go, yikes. Yeah, not even gonna try. Sorry. I'm sure this looks fine. Hey, I don't know about that last, well, the last two rooms, actually. Whoop! Okay. The platforms are working too well.
Oh, you should be able to jump up through them, but I guess... I may not stick with this one for too much longer for the interest of advancing the stream, because I am clearly starting to not make some progress. Oh, and just a reminder, please no swearing in the stream.
Because I am trying to keep this family-friendly and safe for work. Unlike these platforms, which present a workplace hazard and are not friendly to keeping your family in decent living condition. Yeah, I was really digging the challenges, and maybe I'm just not wrapping my head around exactly how you're supposed to be doing these. But I am finding this a little more challenging than it really feels like it should be, even though that's par for the course with this type of level. Now, I did that again. Should not have done that. Flamery, this is not a Christian stream. I am trying to create a channel that, like I said, is safe for work and is acceptable for people of any disposition, any age, any belief, background, whatever, to feel comfortable saying, hey, I can just show up here and I know that this will be safe to watch with my children, this will be safe to watch at work. I'm not going to get you know, any kind of guff from my manager, or... Well, I mean, if your manager is letting you watch video game stuff at work, then they're probably pretty cool, but still, you know, it is for the sake of others, it's not me. Whee! Save! It is difficult to pick up on subtext in text, so I tend to take words at face value unless I know the person who's saying them personally. Good boss music. Ah, not quite. Oh, those are spikes, not background decorations.
Oops.
That's distressing.
Is this supposed to be a specific person?
I would be satisfied if this were the boss of this stage, because I feel like this is difficult enough that we can justify it being a little shorter. Well, this is working, so let's stick with it. Almost there! Don't jump on spikes this time! Okay, somehow I made that through that. Okay, don't go for the bait. Warning! To the left is the entrance to an extra boss for a noble nickel. You will be unable to shoot or pause during it. Good luck. Unable to shoot or pause. That boss I could do again if I had to. So let's see. The boss through these doors cannot be damaged. Simply survive its onslaught to win. If you don't wish to fight it, head left to warp out. Okay. Would be nice to have a little teleporter icon just as a reminder. So is this going to be kind of like that one boss from... Oh, you ducked back around in on me. Going to be kind of like that one boss from Magmal 1, where it's just stay alive as it drains its health. Oh, you changed your pattern. I feel like I'm playing DDR all of a sudden or something.
Jump, jump, slide, slide.
Yeah, I knew you were going to start coming back in. I just wasn't sure quite at the timing. This is cool, though. This is not strictly Mega Man, but I like it. Keep a watch, if you would, Z, on my health. And about how much damage I'm taking, so as to when to use an E-tank.
That was about 2 or 3 bars. That's so sucked.
I would normally be watching this myself, but there's a lot going on here, so I'm trying to direct my attention toward not getting hurt.
One more hit and then I would use it.
Yeah, I think I agree. Okay.
Use an E-tank.
Oh, that's right, you can't pause, so no E-tank.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one, actually. Holy cats, that is quite enough. Hopefully there's a cheat code, because I know there are cheat codes in this game, that will allow you to do a little better with this. Not bad. Okay, we're not going to try that again. That one I think I could do with lots of luck and a little more practice. Whew, okay. Yeah, couldn't... Wait a second. Oh, that's right, I can't pause, but I can still cycle through my weapons with left and right. As soon as I said, oh, I can't pause... Yeah, I wasn't putting that together, I'm sorry. I could have redone that, duh. Oh well.
Gee, I wonder who made this level! I can't tell! I really like the setups in general here, and the usage of the needles and your custom platforms were pretty clever, but I think the level was just too instant death happy. I understand that that's the point of the stage, but it doesn't stop the latter half of the level from being frustrating. Once the more dangerous setups of the platforms came in, it felt like I just kept dying to the spikes over and over. Just because I hadn't really learned the setup yet. And that led me to redoing the previous setups over and over. And it was just bleh. The first half of the level is really good though. Again, I really like your usage of the needles. The boss fight with the kid is pretty fun, if a bit basic, and the extra challenge with the white fruit thing is really neat. I haven't seen true bullet hell in Mega Man ever before.
Oh, kitty.
Oh. Sorry. Overall, I still like the level. I just really think the second half could have used some more room for error. I'm gonna put myself in a timeout.
Very inconsistent level. The first section was a fairly easy and fun stroll with some enemies and spikes, but the castle's interior was a ridiculously hard platforming challenge that wasn't fun at all. I kind of enjoyed the first boss, but that secret boss was awesome! It was very creative for this contest, and it felt like something straight out of Sound Dodger. However, that boss was pretty extreme without access to E-tanks. Pretty cool I want to be the guy aesthetic. While I'm really not a fan of the sprite work and think adhering to the source material solely through the neutral theming and cherry references would have been enough, I enjoy the platforming this level has to offer. Having never played the source material myself, I can hardly judge how closely the challenges presented here adhere to a proper curve from said source. However, what I can say is that the level provided fair and exciting platforming challenges throughout, until it got to the segment with Crashman platforms, which put a spike, in the difficulty to the point where it's really easy to mistime a jump and be forced to redo the entire section over. 2 sections if you're not smart enough to actually activate the save station, a feature which I think wasn't a needed addition, since placing them in a way where they're unavoidable would have made idiots like me less likely to miss out on a checkpoint. The first boss of this stage is rather boring, but I found the optional Toho boss to be pretty fun to fight, probably due to the music. I wish it had less RNG based on avoidable sudden hits though. Overall, fun stage for the most part, I just wish it had a more slopey difficulty curve and stuck to its platforming roots. I've got to be honest, the extra boss is the primary reason why this level gets such a high score. It's done in such a creative and interesting manner, and the way it's synced to the music is just impressive. Anyway, regarding the level itself, it surprisingly manages to remain fair and fun despite the abundance of spikes and other damaging obstacles. However, some parts still remain quite cheap and require high levels of precision, but even with that in the way, there are enough checkpoints to make the experience fun and not tedious.
I was expecting to hate this, if only due to its clear inspiration. I mean, it's not exactly good, but the challenge is interesting to play. You actually introduced mechanics well. Conveyance was good, there was some interesting setups, if a bit finicky, and your checkpoint placement is pretty good overall. Well, I think one more in the final stretch would help lessen the frustration. I was expecting spikes to be flying everywhere, and I'm thankful they weren't. For the most part, the level just requires timing and precision, and neither to overly fine degrees. I only really take exception to a single room, actually the second crash platform room. Whatever its requirements are, they're insane. Either a pixel-perfect jump or sliding underneath the spikes atop the moving platform, which is weird because the rest of the segments give a very clear idea of what they expect from the player. I cannot under any circumstances get through the second crash platform room properly, because of either the glitchy nature of the platforms being unable to time it, or my own loathing for pixel-perfect jumps. The bosses were interesting? I get the reference, sure, but they are pretty odd, and very luck-based. The first one does seem to get easier the longer the fight lasts, and the second one throws maybe a few too many projectiles in your way, which if the RNG gods decided to not be in your favor would lead to deaths, more so than just a lack of skill. I beat it the first time I fought it, took a few attempts the second time. As an aside, getting it to sync with the music? Brilliant. That room I mentioned bothered me a fair bit, but this stage wasn't as bad as the first appearance suggests. I'm sure you're well aware of the ugly nature of the artwork, given what you're referencing, but even if it is a reference, it is still ugly to look at.
Okay. And off we go to 27th place, betasword, Ruined Lab, score 32. Also, how's the music volume, everyone? Still acceptable? Oh, we fell into a hole. This is what a bottomless pit looks like, by the way.
A bottomless bit?
A bottomless bit. Now we wait for it to load. Is this the one I think it is? Maybe this is the one I was thinking of.
Music.
Yeah. Stand here for a gift from the sky. You know what? Why did I ever stop relying on bees?
And yes, we know they're not bees, but bees is more fun to say.
Nothing. Okay, so it looks like we're going back in time to Dr. Wily's Fortress from Mega Man 3. And I'm digging this music. For as many complaints as I had about Mega Man 3 and my playthrough of it, I can't really critique the music. Well, I can critique the music, but I mean, I have positive things to say about the music. Really, really good soundtrack. What's interesting about this is that the original Super Danny pulled something similar to this. Kind of going back, revisiting a fortress from the past. Hello! Oh, I see a tank. Do I need it? No, I do not. Now this, I think, is a really good use of a big room. Oops! Oh, that's okay, I didn't need it. But I'm sure there's things that I missed all over the place. And I like that you can see ahead to what is going to be. Although it doesn't look like there's going to be that much challenge there. But I guess maybe the idea is don't just jump all the way down because you will regret it. Okay. This is one of my... Ooh, interesting.
Oh, I like the snake model.
Brilliant! Brilliant! Yes, I heartily approve. Oh, and that's good that they each break off different sections, so you can't just escape after killing one. Very, very good. Yeah, the Mega Man 3 First Fortress stage always had one of my favorite aesthetics out of any fortress stage. These are just like the perfect stone bricks. I think the background goes pretty well. Nice. Oh, you got me too. Well played. This is one of my favorites so far that I've played in here. Good progression of challenges, great concept. How you like bees? Actually, bees are surprisingly effective until they're not. Okay. No. Is that doing it?
No.
Well, no, because I'm not getting it. There we go. Okay. Key! Well, that would have been really bad if I decided to not destroy that net. Presumably. Unless that's some optional something, but I can't imagine why it would be an optional something. I could play Perfect Harmony with Z-Saber. Interesting. Oh! That's not how you dodge. I'm back here. Okay, so that was just to get a key. Ah! So I still am up to date on e-takes? Yep. Like the color mixing here. Very good. I like the music switch up here. I hope these junk golems are used a little better, yeah, than they were before. Because it was just sort of, oh, they're blocking your path, and they just kind of hurt you automatically. Now you've got a little room to dodge. Well, I can go back down a ladder if it turns out I'm not there. If it turns out that's not... Oh, I can't. Interesting. Oh, that didn't quite work. Jump right. Oh wow, so much for dodging. Super arrow unlocked! Interesting! Okay, so you can go back and forth there. That's good. I like that Noble Nickel. That was a good placement. That's a good challenge. Pure platforming. Pure pain. Well, I unlocked it. Might as well use it. Co-op version of Pit of Endless. Pit of 100 Trials. Alright, I'm assuming this is for Rush Jet purposes. I was looking for Rush Marine for a second. Oh boy. Can I actually get on that? Or is that just cruel? Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Okay! But still, I don't think that... So that's just a trap. Because you can't get back on Rush after that, and you can't get on Super Arrow after that. So now we die. That's unfortunate. And I was looking at it, I'm like... Oh, but you know what's more... Oh, okay, the power-ups do respawn. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. Like, it looks like it was just an accident, that it was intended to be an actual pickup. But it does seem a little cruel that there's no way, even if you're really good at jumping, to get out. Like, if the top platform had a 3 space above it instead of just a 2, that if you were able to make that really, really tricky jump up to the top layer, that you could still survive that. No. Actually, I guess I could have jumped and run over that with Rush below the platform.
Well, that's what Kiki was saying.
Nope. That was problematic. Yeah, I just need to do this right. Loading, loading, loading. Roll, rushing to Dr. Wily, Stage 1 Revisited. Yeah, that is one problem with this game, is that some stages take a very long time to load. Okay, and we're back. And the problem is, I don't know how long this section is going to go, so I don't know how essential it is to get all of these. And you're right, the next one I could stop on. Now I'm getting stressed. Arrow from the bottom level there. Again, I don't know what's ahead, so it's my concern that some enemy's going to come... Well, I guess if an enemy comes in my way anyhow, I'm going to get knocked off Rush, so I might as well have my super arrow disappear underneath me. The other baffling thing is I'm not seeing custom assets here, really, so... Why... The only levels that I've seen that have really had difficulties with loading times have been ones that are really heavy on custom assets or custom programming.
He's saying arrow from the bottom level there, trust me.
So from the next place where I stop? Okay, thank you. Oh, arrow from the respawn point. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, not relevant now, hopefully. I like you got the pipes there kind of blocking your view a little bit. Okay. Now is this a proper boss? Uh-oh. Got another weapons archive thing going on here? Uh-oh. That looks bad. I'm kind of having like Metroid flashbacks when in Fusion when the Nightmare gets loose. You're like, what happened? Okay, like Super Doc Robot. Holy cats. Everybody's favorite, weak to whatever weapon's obnoxious. Curse you, Centaur and Plant Man together. Fortunately, I figured out how to make him jump over you. And also how to get hit in the face with lasers. But my fire button is sticking again. Probably was a little too soon to use that. Oh, couldn't slide under that. How about that? Nice! So, I don't know, I was not entirely thrilled with that Rush Jet section or Super Arrow section, but overall, pretty good.
Interesting Mega Man 3 styled level, though I have a few issues with it. The first half is mostly fine, though the free scroll section feels like you're making blind jumps sometimes. The hologram at the beginning is kind of dumb because it just makes you wait until it goes off screen. The Double Snake mini-boss is incredibly overwhelming, and I don't know if it's possible to do it without getting hit. The giant mini-boss basically just amounts to mashing because it just flies in and out of a shooting range, and all of its projectiles can be destroyed with one shot. The rest is fine though, and I actually really like the Met section. The second half brings its own set of issues, mainly from using junk golems, which are awful enemies that are basically impossible to not get hit by unless you do it absolutely perfect movements. And they're in quite a few rooms, in very obnoxious places. I also question the decision to bring back the Rush Jet section from the original Mega Man 3, because I'm pretty sure no one liked that. I didn't. Thankfully, you can skip it with Super Arrow. Doc Robot, while neat, I feel is too unpredictable and inconsistent sometimes. Sometimes it seems like he just fires Gemini Laser whenever he feels like it. It also doesn't help that he has high contact damage and a ton of health. He does sort of have a rhythm to him because he has the Crushman AI, so it's not too bad. So overall, it's an interesting level. It just has some issues that keep me from really liking it.
I really like how this level started as Wily 1 from Mega Man 3 and then transformed into a much more non-linear level. It's a very creative concept and it really took me by surprise. My main issue is that underwater section, which was full of blind jumps. Another thing is, although this is a really good level, it did feel like it started to overstay its welcome a bit. It easily could have ended after I got the key, but that was actually around the halfway point where it transitioned into Mega Man 3's Wily 4. It took me a few deaths to learn that Rush Jet section, which was annoying. The boss was really cool, and I like the ominous feel of the section leading up to it, but did it really need 3 health bars? Pretty neat Wily stage. Wily stage type stage. I like the throwback to Mega Man 3 in the beginning, and how you're just further exploring the sewers beneath the fortress. There's a large variety of challenges here, most of which I like, some of which often killed me before I could react, though those deaths were usually my fault for not paying enough attention. Every time I arrived at the ladder area, my first death went to the spikes you can see as you enter the room. Generally, I prefer what the second half of the level has to offer, with some tricky platforming segments and a Rush Jet section that I initially accidentally skipped with Super Arrow, and I felt really bleepy for doing so. The boss is a cool combination of various robot masters, though it has a metric ton of HP, and I feel like 2 full bars would have been more than enough. The scripts in this stage also crashed quite a few times when I died, which is unfortunate. Overall, a cool and pretty challenging stage. I was okay with the 3 health bars. I like that because there were so many different attacks that you got a chance to really get into a groove of, oh, so this is everything it can do. First off, I'll admit my bias toward levels that are based on already existing stages. I'm saying this because this level is based on Mega Man 3's Wily 1, and doesn't do that great of a job at doing something interesting with it. Aside from that, the level just kinda sucks. Often, the placement of enemies and other obstacles gets really irritating to deal with, particularly in the Rush Jet section, and the bosses are way too difficult, not to mention how bad the collision is, and how the level takes 10 seconds to load. On the bright side, I think some of the ideas here aren't too bad, but they were executed poorly.
Most of the stage is average and uninspired. The clever parts of the stage were the super arrow Easter egg, and the second mid-boss was pretty cool, if a little hard to hit. Checkpoints were well placed, and I like the transition from tileset 1 to tileset 2. That was neat! The stage copies a lot of stage design from the actual Wily stages, which is an okay in concept, but nothing is done with these sections other than irritate the player with, say, holograms and rather stupid... Oh, holograms.
Yeah.
And rather stupidly placed holograms too. Such as in a scrolling section with spikes. Otherwise, these sections are quite literally filler if we've already played. The original segments contain many baffling sections. There are many to name, so I'll name the most glaring ones. The twin big snaky fight wasn't fun. It amounts to spam, with both snakes firing at the same time, rather than them having a balancing act, making dodging in that section all but impossible. There are also several blind jumps, enemies in the large underwater room, which is frankly ridiculous. There's other issues with the stage itself, but there is one final, very large problem with this level, your boss. The concept is pretty cool. All of the dev kit boxes loaded into one dark robot. Robot.
What's a robot?
That's awesome! But you fail completely to actually do any of this well. There is no tells or indication as to what attack he is going to pull off, so luck is required to dodge anything. No color scheme swapping, no image in the background to tell you what attack he is going to use next. Nothing. He just picks random attack, pulls it off immediately, and then picks another random attack. Ugh. A cool concept ruined by not taking other players into account.
And then you gave him 3 health bars, with no changes to the boss fight as you go through health bars. I'm sorry, what? There's no justification for that, and it is just there to force players to use E-tanks, as dodging some of the boss's attacks can sometimes be impossible. Your boss fight ruined any goodwill I had left. I might have tolerated him, but no, you just had to crank up the annoyance factor. Yeah, really divisive judge scores on that one. I only had problems with the Rush Jet section. Otherwise, everything, you know, maybe tweak a couple things here and there, but I don't think I experienced the gameplay problems that a lot of people did. Maybe just because of the way that I approach those challenges. Let's see, which Scorchman was this? That was... Oh, don't bother me! I'm trying to drown my sorrows in wily combos!
Oh, they said I turned into Zoidberg. Why not Zoidberg?
Burger Joe. I had someone shout at me today. I think every character who I try and go, like, what voice haven't I done? They end up sounding like this. I had someone shout at me today over burning their sausage rolls. We don't even serve sausage rolls here. Heck, what even is a sausage roll? What? Get me, I'll toy! I want the toy! Toy, toy, toy! I want it now! Now, now, now! I hate this kid. Thanks for joining us. This has been another Magwell 2 stream. No, the Wily combo does not come with a toy. That's for enjoyment courses. So, if Solar Man gets angry, does he burn up his company-issued hat? Infobox, Tier 7 boss. How many tiers did we have again? Was it 9 or 10?
10.
10 tiers.
Yes. All of your tiers.
Wait a minute. Oh wait, you're a girl, you can read this.
Who are you?
I have been awaiting your arrival! My name is Pepsi Man!
Pepsi? I don't know. I'm not really into that. I definitely prefer Coke.
What? How dare you deny the best cola to ever exist in the universe! I am going to wash your sinful presence off your circuit with phosphoric acid!
Are we gonna get into copyright issues with this?
There will be no fighting during my shift. ... Oh, it is you, Mega Man. You can see through my costume. Are you here so that you can taunt me for working at McWiley's? ... Well, it looks like the future isn't going to be so bright for you. Yeah, we're not even playing around on this one. We're pulling out the special weapons and E-tanks from the get-go. And fortunately, bees!
Oh, I like the Christmas music, too.
Yes! Suffer and pain of these! And I'll share some of that suffering as you explode into flames. I like that you can't just hide against the left side of the room. That's good. We broke it. Hot-eyed. Why did I not play fair? How many times have you been like, use special weapons, get through this section already? Alright. Let's just hop out to... Oh, I know what we're gonna do. We're going to go back to the costume store. And we are going to... You know what? I wish there was a teleport for the costume store, maybe the dojo, places, or Nightman's bar, like places that you definitely want to go back to. What do you mean, cheater? Why are we just now getting angry at me about using special weapons, you people? Likin keeps buying so many costumes.
So they wanted Proto Man.
They did. But you know what?
Do you want to play one?
I will do, just to get this out of the way, I will do one stage as Horrendous Cutman. Let's see, 8. I don't remember seeing 8 yet. Which way is it?
I think it's all the way to one end.
And let me know if you see any new characters out here. Suddenly couldn't move right. Oh, let's check in. I don't know. I don't feel like I got like any new noble nickels there. I thought I'd take a look at Nightman's little establishment. I must say, McWiley's might have some competition. Yep, you know, there's nothing like an alcohol-serving bar to give competition to a fast food restaurant. Oh, we talked to you already. Yes, I know, we're familiar with these from a ROM hack, but I have not played that. Okay, come back with 80. Oh, how many? Oh, I could have looked at that, I guess. That's a long way to go. Thank you for moving them farther away from the door. I appreciate that. Hey, bass! It's pronounced bass! I mean bass! Whoops. Are you new? Oh, I think Coldman's new. What amazing potential this simulation technology has! We could use it to create infinite money! I'm skipping work at McWiley's today! It's so degrading that they use me as the refrigerator!